Have you ever walked into a room and felt like something unseen was watching you? That chilling sensation you can't quite explain, a weight in the air, a subtle coldness that raises the hair on your arms. Tonight, on True Terraphiles Official, we bring you the unsettling story of the Whispering House, a property abandoned for decades, shrouded in local superstition, unknown by the townsfolk, not by its address. But as Evan moved from room to room, an unnatural hush fell over the space. In the guest bedroom, Evan found an old porcelain doll sitting on a child's bed, its glass eyes dull, a thin layer of dust covering its face. As he reached to move it aside, a distinct voice whispered in his ear, "Leave now." What it captured remains one of the most unsettling pieces of evidence of residual haunting in Brookmere Hollow. Upon playback, a clear female voice could be heard saying, "Help us. Still here. Can't leave." The room fell silent after. At that moment, Evan noticed the temperature had dropped so dramatically his breath hung in the air. Subscribe to True Terraphiles Official for more unsettling true horror encounters, eerie legends, and chilling mysteries from around the world. And remember, some houses aren't empty. They're just waiting for someone to listen. He spun around, but no one was there. Heart racing, Evan reminded himself it was just nerves, yet the feeling of being watched clung to him. The usual sounds of a settling old home, crick's groans, wind through broken panes were absent. It was a silence so dense it felt like a presence itself. The small door creaked open to reveal a cluttered space filled with old trunks and boxes. As Evan raised his phone to take a photo, a cold hand seemed to brush his neck. And out the front door, the whispers chasing him until the heavy door slammed shut behind him. Later research uncovered that the house had been the site of a mysterious event in the 1930s. A family of 5 had disappeared without a trace. Neighbors reported hearing strange voices and screams in the nights before their disappearance, but no evidence was ever found. Over the decades, others who attempted to live or work in the home left abruptly, refusing to explain what drove them away. He jumped back, nearly tripping over a dusty trunk. He froze, listening. The air was thick with whispers, now indistinct voices speaking over one another in hushed, desperate tones, too quiet to make out, but unmistakably human. He shrugged it off and got to work, photographing each room for the listing, when faintly, from the far corner of the living room, he heard a whisper, a voice so soft it barely registered, but unmistakably real. It seemed to call his name, assuming it was the wind or perhaps a trick of acoustics in the empty house. He ignored it. Yet, to this day, no one can definitively explain what forces linger in the Whispering House, and it remains unsolved. Its windows boarded, a silent monument to whatever unseen energies still claim it. But as he moved upstairs, the sensation grew stronger, but by the unexplainable voices heard by anyone who dares enter. This case is drawn from verified local accounts and records, and what you're about to hear is a true account that will leave you questioning the unseen forces that might exist around us. Our story begins with Evan Carter, a real estate agent who was tasked with assessing an old colonial-style home on the edge of a fading town called Brookmere Hollow. The property had sat empty for over 30 years. Locals claimed no one could spend a full night inside without hearing voices or encountering bizarre, unexplainable events. Evan, skeptical and practical by nature, dismissed these rumors as small-town folklore meant to scare curious teenagers. It wasn't until the day he stepped through the front door that his view on the unknown would forever change. The house itself was ordinary at first glance. Dust-covered furniture, faded wallpaper, and cracked picture frames that told of forgotten families long gone. On the second floor, the air was colder. A draft seemed to swirl around him, though no windows were open. Determined to finish, he proceeded to the attic. This is where most of the reported activity occurred, according to town rumors. In a desperate bid for explanation, Evan turned on his phone's voice recorder. Unable to take any more, Evan bolted from the attic, down the stairs. Evan's story made its way through the town, and eventually 2 paranormal who conducted investigations and confirmed anomalous voice recordings, inexplicable temperature fluctuations, and electromagnetic field spikes within the house. If you've ever experienced something you couldn't explain, a voice in an empty room, a touch when no one's there, a feeling that something lingers just out of sight, share your story in the comments below. Subscribe to True Terraphiles Official for more unsettling true horror encounters, eerie legends, and chilling mysteries from around the world. And remember, some houses aren't empty. They're just waiting for someone to listen.